I have some friends, researchers, who claim that they have been limiting themselves. They have made a kind of self-censorship because they're a bit afraid. Maybe they wouldn't be nominated for, get a handshake by the president to be a professor, or maybe some others claim they got a letter saying that it was uninteresting what they were researching. And actually one of my friends got such a letter and then afterwards sent an application to Harvard and got accepted there for a 3 years stipendium. Is that something you've experienced, or is that something you are talking about?
I mean, luckily Roman law is a bit out of scope.
Okay.
Of interest. But so not my point of research, but I think my public activity put me in the eye of beholder as well. You know, you may have heard it that I sued the minister for homophobic hate speech, and
yes,
I won.
Yes.
He apologized. I mean, that was a compromise reached out of court, a settlement reached out of court, but I simply did not even think about applying for anything, because I know my doctoral student didn't get his research grant. Maybe his project was not too good, maybe, but it had got wonderful written reviews, the project.
Yes.
But the points were not enough to give him a grant. So that was actually a very sad moment, because then I realized that my public activity is not only
it could also influence,
but it actually goes against
because you're the promoter, then they would punish you in that way.
Yeah. So
but you're also taking the Polish state to the Court of Human Rights.
Yeah, but then this is so I have not been confronted face to face, and I wouldn't even think of that, because I don't have chances. It's not like, but what they were doing mostly, I think it's not they would impose this 1984 careful thinking or double thinking, if you like, but they would, that did happen of course, but they would try to bribe people with specially designed research programs.
Yes.
That would prove that Poles were so heroic during the Nazi occupation helping Jews.
Yes.
Or this kind of things, or you know the infamous
Poland, Lithuania as the predecessor of the European Union.
Yes, or the easy way to get money to buy yourself a luxurious villa so you'd have a seat for your scientific organization or NGO. So that was the usual way, or any kind of boards of directors or whatnot. So any way, or grants that were given by the ministry specifically to some scholars.
Yes.
And that happened at my faculty as well. So that was one way. And of course, you know, we don't earn a lot. We are really miserably paid in Poland for what we do, as compared to the Western European standard of a scientist's salary. So people, of course, they take these things and then they would like limit themselves and try to do what. And this kind of behavior changed radically last April, when Barbara Engelking gave an interview about the ghetto uprising anniversary, and she said what is the focus and main point of well-accepted point of research about the role of Poles during the Holocaust. Yes. And that they weren't to say, that we weren't, to say the least, the brave helpers always.
They actually tried at some stage to make it illegal to say that.
They even before. So what happened then? 3 days or 4 days later, Czarnek, the then Minister of Science and Education, tweeted he would not finance the institutions that would employ people who shame Poland, and that was the first ever, to my mind, financial threat to a scientific institution. And he carried his words out, because for a couple of months he did not pay out the subvention to the Institute of Philosophy and Sociology of Polish Academy of Sciences, which employed Professor Engelking.
Okay.
2 weeks later, because we thought that it was such an act of outrage that we started collecting signatures of a protest. 2 weeks later, there was a radio interview with Czarnek again, and he was approached, a very friendly interview on public radio, and there was a question from the journalist about this letter And then he would say, well, I know these people, they think they are Polish professors. They are professors just by name. They do not represent Polish interest. And we are investigating who has signed the letter, and then we will take steps. So my very close friends, myself, we are there on the top of the list. There's nothing to investigate. Our names and affiliations.
You are at this list, so you're not a professor.
No, I'm a professor, but only by name. I'm not a Polish professor. So this kind of threats we didn't have.
No.
They were smarter. They were smarter because they knew that academia is a bizarre animal that is lazy. That it thinks that having the luxury of living in our ivory tower, we don't have to engage. But it moves one moment. It moves when one starts taking out the bricks from this ivory tower, and they didn't want to press that much until that moment. So I hope this is from my private point of view, or professional point of view. I think this is one of the major game changers, that we will have the freedom of research.
This will change now.